Hey, come closer. Today we're embarking on a journey that will revolutionize the way you perceive your brand, whether you're a company or an individual. You know, when I first encountered blockchain, I amusingly mistook it for a new fitness regimen for sculpting abs. But as it turns out, it's a different kind of workout altogether. One that flexes the muscles of your business and the brands. This video is about more than just understanding the buzzword of the moment. It's about grasping the profound shift that is happening in our digital world and learning how to leverage it to build purpose-driven brands. Brands that resonate, inspire, and makes a difference. We are in the midst of the Web3 era, often referred to as the ownership era. This is a period characterized by a shift in power dynamics, where users are gaining increased control over their digital interactions. It's an era where transparency, authenticity, and individual agency are held in higher regard than ever before. In this video, I'll guide you through the principles of brand building in this transformative era. We'll delve into my unique concept of Brand T, which stands for brand truth, brand empathy, and brand actions. These principles are the key to standing out in a crowded digital landscape, connecting with your audience on a deeper level, and to building a brand that doesn't just exist in the market, but matters to the market. By the end of this video, you'll gain a comprehensive understanding of how to harness the power of Web3 technologies, such as blockchain, crypto, and smart contracts. This knowledge will empower you to foster trust with your consumers, cultivate meaningful relationships, and propel your brand's success in the digital age. So if you're prepared to revolutionize your brand, make a positive impact, and leave an indelible mark on the world, then stay with me. This is a journey you don't want to miss. Welcome to the ultimate workout for your brand. Let's embark on this journey together. Hello, fellow marketers and curious bastards. You may or may not know this, but I am a global creative strategist with marketing at heart. Today, we're going to explore how we can build purpose-driven brands in the Web3 era. And no, you won't need any gym gear for this workout. Why am I talking about this? Well, I've been in the marketing industry for a few decades now, and have been a creative strategist in both traditional advertising agencies and social media consultancies. Now I'm diving into the emerging media with the creator economy, AI, AR, VR, Web3, crypto, and blockchain technology paving the way. A few years back, I took my own hard medicine to figure out my golden circle, my reason for being here, and doing what I do. So here are my personal statements. My why? To make a positive impact. My how? By using my knowledge, passion, and curiosity for culture and human behavior. So what do? I transform brands that matter by creating narratives that sell. I'm also the author of Brand New Economics, timeless, tangible tools and principles to create a brand legacy. I delve deep into how you can set up your business and build a legacy brand. But in the past couple of years, the world has changed quite radically. That is why I'm sharing this concept with you, based on some brand principles that I believe are essential for brands to embrace and implement if they want to separate themselves from the crowd. Brand T is what will separate the greats from the good. Why is the concept of T so significant, especially in the context of social connections and storytelling? Let's delve a little deeper into this. Imagine sitting down for a cup of tea. It's not just about the beverage, it's about the experience. The act of sharing a cup of tea is a social ritual, a moment of connection. It's an invitation to engage in conversation, listen actively, and participate in the exchange of stories and ideas. This simple act of sharing tea embodies the essence of social bonding and community building. Now let's take a step back and look at this from a broader perspective. In his seminal book, Sapiens, Yuval Noah Harari explores the role of gossip in shaping human society. He posits that gossip, the informal exchange of information and personal stories, played a crucial role in the development of our political systems, religious beliefs, and economic foundations. These stories gave birth to different imaginary realities, narratives that help us make sense of the complex world. They provided answers to the big why questions, offering explanations for the world around us and our place within it. These stories spread through gossip and enable large-scale corporations among humans. But how did this happen? When a story is shared and spread among multiple individuals, it gains credibility and validity. It becomes a shared truth, a consensus reality. Remember, this was a time where there was no internet, no media, or any forum to fact-check or hold people accountable. The consensus became the accepted reality. The shared stories, the collective narratives shaped our understanding of the world and our role in it. This is where the concept of T comes into play. It's about truth, empathy, and action. It's about creating a brand that tells a compelling story, a brand that understands and empathizes with its audience, and a brand that takes meaningful action. It's about creating a brand that doesn't just exist in the market, but matters to the market. So when we talk about tea, we're talking about more than just a beverage. We're talking about a philosophy, a way of engaging with the world. We're talking about creating brands that resonate with people, brands that tell a story, and brands that makes a difference. In essence, the concept of tea is creating a brand that is as inviting, engaging, and comforting as a warm cup of tea shared among friends. It's about creating a brand that fosters connection, encourages conversation, and facilitates the sharing of stories. It's about creating a brand that matters. The reason I believe the principles of brand truth, brand empathy, and brand action are so fitting for this video, and indeed for our times, is because they encapsulate the essence of what we're all seeking in our interactions, both online and offline. It's about providing the tea, or give us the tea, as the Gen Zs would say. It's about sharing the latest news, the most compelling stories, the deepest insight, and the juiciest gossip of the day. Consider the dynamics of a tea party. When you invite someone to a tea party, it's not just about a tea, it's about the conversation, the connection, the exchange of ideas. You're inviting them into a personal space, signaling that you value their company, their opinions, and their experiences. You're creating an environment that encourages engagement, fosters understanding, and builds trust. This is the essence of brand empathy. Now imagine if we could replicate this intimate trust-building environment on a global scale. Imagine if we could create a platform where brands and consumers could interact in a transparent, authentic, and meaningful way. This is where Web3 comes in. Web3 is not just a tool or a platform, it's an ecosystem that enables this kind of interaction and connection. Web3 allows us to create a digital tea party, a space where brands can share their truth, demonstrate empathy, and take meaningful action. It's a space where consumers can engage with brands on a deeper level, where they can feel seen, heard, and valued. It's a space where the principles of brand tea can come to life. In this digital tea party, brands don't just broadcast messages, they engage in conversations. They don't just tell their stories, they listen to the stories of their consumers. They don't just sell products or services, they build relationships based on trust, empathy, and shared values. So when we talk about brand tea in the context of this video, we're not just talking about a marketing strategy. We're talking about a new way of engaging with your audience, a new way of building relationships, and a new way of doing business. We're talking about the future of branding in the Web3 era, where the importance of purpose-driven brands is becoming increasingly evident. This shift is not just a trend, but a reflection of a deeper societal transformation. Consumers are being more conscious, more informed, and more demanding. They are seeking brands that align with their values, brands that are transparent, authentic, and purposeful. Consider the statistics. 80% of people say they are loyal to businesses that help them achieve the good life, as defined by balance and simplicity, meaningful connections, money and status, and personal achievement. 89% of consumers believe purpose is demonstrated through how the company benefits society and the environment, and they expect brands to share their impact through all touchpoints. 73% of consumers are willing to stand up for a purpose-driven brand if it is spoken badly of. 66% of consumers are willing to switch from a known brand to an unknown purpose-driven brand. 57% are willing to pay more for an equivalent product from a purpose-driven brand. 78% of consumers would tell others to buy from a purpose-driven company. These statistics underscore the growing importance of purpose-driven brands in the Web3 era. They highlight the shift in consumer behavior and increasing demand for brands that stand for something more than just profit. They also underscore the potential of Web3 technologies to facilitate this shift by enhancing transparency, fostering trust, and enabling new forms of consumer brand relationships. In this new era, brands need to do more than just sell products or services. They need to stand for something. They need to have a purpose that resonates with their audience. They need to demonstrate their commitment to this purpose through their actions. And they need to leverage the power of Web3 technologies to do this in a transparent and authentic way. This is not just about adopting new technologies. It is about embracing a new way of doing business. It's about understanding the changing dynamics of consumer brand relationships. It's about recognizing the power of purpose, empathy, and action. And it's about leveraging these principles to build brands that not only exist in the market, but matters to the market. In the Web3 era, the brands that will thrive are the ones that understand this shift and adapt accordingly. They are the ones that embrace their brand truth, show empathy towards their audience, and take meaningful action. They are the ones that leverage the power of Web3 technologies to enhance transparency, build trust, and foster deeper and more meaningful consumer brand relationships. They are the ones that don't just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And they are the ones, in the end, that makes a difference, makes an impact, and make their mark on the world. Question for you. Can you think of a time where your brand had to stand by its truth, even when it was challenging? As we navigate the Web3 era, we're witnessing a significant shift towards what's being termed as the ownership era. This phrase encapsulates a transformation in our interaction with digital assets and online platforms. Previously, our online experiences were largely dictated by centralized entities. We utilized their platforms, adhered to their regulations, and frequently forfeited our privacy and ownership rights. However, the ownership era is poised to change this dynamic. Thanks to blockchain technology and the principles of decentralization, users are gaining more control over their digital interactions. They can own digital assets from cryptocurrencies to NFTs and have a say in the governance of the platforms they use. They can verify the authenticity of transactions, track the provenance of digital assets, and participate in the value they help create. This shift to the ownership era is not just about technology. It is about power dynamics. It's about shifting power from centralized entities to individual users. It's about creating a more democratic, more transparent, and more equitable digital world. In this new era, brands have the opportunity to build direct relationships with their consumers, bypassing traditional intermediates. They can leverage the power of blockchain to create transparent and secure transactions, building trust and loyalty with their customers. Let's delve deeper into the concept of purpose-driven brands and how they stand out in the Web3 era. Picture Times Square, a bustling hub of activity filled with bright lights and a constant stream of information. It's overwhelming, isn't it? We are bombarded with thousands of marketing messages every day, consuming more than 10,000 brand impressions per day. Now compare that to someone living in the 1950s who encountered around 3,000 brand impressions in their entire lifetime. It is a crazy, stark contrast, isn't it? In this cacophony of messages, purpose-driven brands stand out. They cut through the clutter. They resonate. They inspire. They connect with consumers on a deeper level because they're not just selling products. They are selling a purpose. As we transition into the Web3 era, these purpose-driven brands are becoming more important than ever. We're moving towards a more decentralized, more transparent, and more democratic digital world. In this new landscape, consumers are looking for brands that align with their values. They're looking for brands that stand for something. They're looking for brands that are authentic, transparent, and purposeful. But it's not just enough to talk the talk. Consumers are looking for brands that take action. Brands that don't just claim to stand for something, but demonstrate it through their actions. Brands that don't just promise to be transparent, but show it through their practices. Brands that don't just aspire to be purposeful, but embody it in their ethos. Patagonia, the American outdoor clothing brand, is an excellent example of a purpose-driven brand.
If the first 50 years were an experiment,
to prove that a business could be responsible and successful.
Irreverent.
Seriously, guys?
And reverential.
quiet,
And louder than hell.
There's no planet B.
Turns out, it's not just possible, it's profitable.
So it's time for a new experiment. Because the problems we face are more dire than ever.
Like, how the f*** is this sustainable, for God's sake?
What's at stake is this enormous commonwealth.
So what's next?
what's next is resilience.
What's next is turning capitalism on its head and putting our money where our mouth is.
What's next is simple. It's human-powered, and it's finding the joy in doing difficult things.
You know, you think life is just one big playground, and I went, well, yeah, it is.
What's next is unstoppable.
Motivation, right?
There is a proverb that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together.
Not a lot of people understand how serious we are about saving this planet. I'm dead serious.
Founded by Yvonne Chouinard in 1973, Patagonia has been at the forefront of environmental activism, integrating sustainability into its business model. Patagonia's commitment to the environment is evident in its business practices. The company donates 1% of its total sales to environmental groups through 1% for the Planet, an organization Chouinard co-founded. In 2016, Patagonia pledged to donate 100% of its Black Friday sales to environmental organizations, totaling $10 million. In 2022, Chouinard transferred ownership of Patagonia to the Patagonia Purpose Trust, with the goal of using profits to address climate change and protect land. This move not only demonstrates Patagonia's commitment to environmental conservation, but also its dedication to transparency and accountability. Patagonia's environmental activism extends beyond its business operations. The company has been involved in several high-profile environmental campaigns, including a lawsuit against the US government in 2017 to protect national monuments. In the lead-up to the 2020 US elections, Patagonia included labels in its clothing with the message, "Vote the assholes out," targeting politicians who deny climate change. Patagonia's commitment to the environment aligns perfectly with the brand T concept. The company's brand truth is its commitment to the environment. Its empathy is shown through its understanding of the urgent need for environmental conservation, and its action is demonstrated through its sustainable business practices and activism. This is the era of ownership. Consumers now have the power to choose brands that align with their values and reject those that don't. They have the power to demand transparency and hold brands accountable. They have the power to shape the narrative and influence the direction of brands. In this era, brands can no longer afford to be passive. They need to actively engage with their audience, listen to their needs, and respond with empathy and action. They need to be purpose-driven, not just in their mission statements, but in their everyday operations. This is the challenge and the opportunity that the Web3 era presents. It's a chance for brands to redefine themselves, build deeper connections with their consumers, and make a real impact. It's a chance for brands to not just exist in the market, but matter to the market. So how do we build these purpose-driven brands in the Web3 era? It starts with understanding our audience pains and needs. It starts with empathy. It starts with action. And it starts with a commitment to transparency and authenticity. In the Web3 era, we have the tools to do this like never before. We can use blockchain to create transparent transactions. We can use crypto to reward loyal customers. And we can use smart contracts to create new types of customer relationships. Possibilities are endless. Take IKEA's strategy during the lockdown as an example. They decided to highlight the day-to-day lives of their employees at home, subtly incorporating their products into each scene. This wasn't merely a marketing tactic, it was a display of empathy. IKEA recognized, like their employees, their customers were also confined in their homes, dealing with a new reality. By presenting their products in this context, they were not just advertising their items, they were offering solutions to enhance the home experience during a challenging time. Another brand that has truly understood the brand empathy principle is Dove, a personal care brand owned by Unilever, which has been a pioneer in the realm of purpose-driven branding.
Okay, folks, so very quiet please, cameras rolling, and recording sound. Slated.
Its Real Beauty campaign, launched in 2004, has been a game changer in the beauty industry, challenging the traditional notions of beauty and promoting body positivity. The Real Beauty campaign was born out of a global study commissioned by Dove, titled The Real Truth About Beauty, a Global Report, which revealed that only 2% of women consider themselves beautiful. This startling statistics led Dove to launch a campaign that aimed to widen the definition of beauty and inspire women to be more comfortable in their own skin. The campaign kicked off with billboard advertisements featuring everyday women, not models, of different body types and ethnicities. These women were photographed in their underwear, proudly showcasing their natural bodies, complete with curves, freckles, and other features often airbrushed out of typical beauty advertisements. The billboard asked viewers to vote on whether the women were fat or fit, wrinkled or wonderful, challenging societal beauty norms and sparkling conversations worldwide. The Real Beauty campaign has evolved over the years, including initiatives like the Dove Self-Esteem Project, which provides resources for parents, teachers, and young leaders to help young people develop a positive relationship with their appearance. The campaign has been praised for its authenticity, empathy, and action, the core principles of the brand T concept. Dove has stayed true to its mission of beauty for all, shown empathy by understanding the insecurities faced by women, and taken action by creating a campaign that challenges beauty stereotypes. This is brand empathy at its finest, understanding the struggles of your customers and guiding them towards a solution. But understanding your audience is just the beginning. The next step is action, creating authentic and transparent interactions that positively impact your audience perceptions and behaviors. This is where the Web3 era comes to play, offering tools that we never had at our disposal before. Blockchain technology, for instance, allows us to create transparent transactions. It's a digital ledger that records transactions across multiple computers so that any involved record cannot be altered retroactively, without the alteration of all subsequent blocks. This transparency builds trust with consumers, showing them that the brand has nothing to hide. Cryptocurrencies offer another avenue for action. They can be used to reward loyal customers, showing appreciation for the continued engagement with the brand. It's a tangible way for demonstrating that the brand values its customers and their loyalty. Then there are smart contracts, which are self-executing contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into the code. They allow us to create new types of customer relationships, offering innovative ways to engage with consumers. For example, a smart contract could automatically reward a customer with a discount once they've made a certain number of purchases, enhancing customer loyalty and engagement. The possibilities with these tools are endless. They allow us to take action that is not just in line with our brand truth and empathy, but also transparent and verifiable. This is the power of the Web3 era. It enables us to build purpose-driven brands that resonate with our consumers on a deeper level, inspiring them and making a difference in their lives. So here's a step-by-step guide on how you can leverage these tools and transform your brand. Understand the technology. Before you can leverage these tools, you need to understand what they are and how they work. Invest time in learning about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and smart contracts. Understand how these technologies can enhance transparency, facilitate secure transactions, and enable new forms of consumer brand relationships. Identify opportunities. Once you understand the technology, identify how you can integrate it into your brand strategy. Can you use blockchain to enhance transparency in your supply chain? Can you use cryptocurrencies to reward loyal customers? Can you use smart contracts to automate certain aspects of your customer service? The opportunities are endless. You just need to find the ones that align with your brand's values and goals. Implement the technology. After identifying the opportunities, the next step is to implement the technology. This might involve hiring a team of experts, partnering with a tech firm, or investing in new software. Remember, the goal is not to use technology for the sake of using technology. It is to use technology to enhance your brand's transparency, build trust with your consumers, and create meaningful relationships. Communicate with your consumers. As you implement these technologies, communicate with them. Let them know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Show them how these technologies will enhance transparency, build trust, and benefit them in the long run. Remember, communication is key to building trust and fostering strong consumer brand relationships. Evaluate and adapt. Finally, as you leverage these technologies, continually evaluate your strategies and adapt as necessary. Are these technologies helping you achieve your goals? Are they enhancing transparency and building trust? Are they resonating with your consumers? If not, don't be afraid to pivot and try something new. Remember, the goal is not to use technology for the sake of using technology. It's to use technology to build a purpose-driven brand that resonates with your consumers, build trust, and make a difference in the world. Airbnb is a prime example of a brand that has successfully navigated the Web3 era by leveraging the principles of brand truth, brand empathy, and brand action. Airbnb's brand truth is encapsulated in its mission statement, belong anywhere.
This is 19 Rouse Street down the street in San Francisco. Joe and I inflated 3 airbeds, and we called it Air Bed and Breakfast. And we had 3 guests stay with us, and that's how it started. A lot of people don't realize our name Airbnb means Air Bed and Breakfast because Originally renting airbeds. This is the receipt of the first airbed.
So this bed is an air mattress?
This is a very nice, comfy mattress. So we've really upgraded. This is much higher end than air mattress. This is higher end than air mattress, yeah. These are my two co-founders, Joe and Nate. This is one of the earliest photos I have of us together. We kind of tell people when they put their home in Airbnb to make your place stand out. And what makes this house stand out is I'm the founder, I live here, so you can get a little bit of Airbnb history while you're here.
The person you don't know is gonna go online and book this room.
Yeah.
For real.
For real, like I did it 15 years ago, I'm gonna do it again. Airbnb was started during the Great Recession. My roommate Joe and I couldn't afford to pay rent, so we hosted our first guest, and that was the beginning of Airbnb.
This ethos is not just a catchy tagline, it is the guiding principles that shapes every aspect of the brand's operations. Airbnb's platform is designed to make anyone feel at home, anywhere in the world, by providing unique, local, and personal experiences. This mission is deeply ingrained in the brand's DNA and is reflected in every interaction with its customers. The brand's empathy is evident in its understanding of the evolving needs and desires of its customers. Airbnb recognizes that the Web3 era, consumers are not just looking for a place to stay, they are seeking authentic experiences that allow them to connect with local cultures and communities. The brand has responded to this shift by expanding its offering to include experiences hosted by locals, thereby providing customers with a unique insight into the places they visit. Airbnb's action is demonstrated through its innovative use of technology to create a platform that facilitates these authentic experiences. The brand has harnessed the power of the Web3 era to create a peer-to-peer marketplace that connects people from around the world. This has not only revolutionized the hospitality industry, but also created a new way for people to travel and experience the world. Moreover, Airbnb's response to the Ukraine crisis is a powerful demonstration of its brand empathy and action. The brand was quick to offer support to those affected by the crisis, providing temporary housing for up to 100,000 refugees in surrounding countries. Airbnb also encouraged its users to book accommodations directly with hosts in Ukraine, with no expectations of staying, as a means of direct donation. This initiative not only provided much needed support to those affected by the crisis, but also reinforced Airbnb's brand truth of belong anywhere. Stella McCartney's brand is a shining example of how a brand can embody the principles of brand truth, brand empathy, and brand action. Stella McCartney's brand's truth lies in its commitment to sustainable fashion. The brand has always been transparent about its mission to create beautiful, desirable products that have the least impact on the environment.
Follow hooves up the hill, becoming hills and then sliding valleys. Up through the rippling sand, and soon we are rushing as one body, gathering speed with wind rustling through our hair, blowing in all directions. I catch my breath between the clouds, gushing towards the mountains, over the trees and clouds in me. How their hues and contours brighten. I feel the grip of my hand tighten around a stone I found at a bend in the river. I am holding on to forms of a past, a certain shape of the future, showing the way. The trees like to loose their contours, to ease into pure being. I wonder what exists beyond their names and variations. They seem to know and sway in a silence that becomes bristling. A single word in my hand. There is a melody in the slow beckoning of their branches, a movement you may remember. rattling a stick along a park's fence, bouncing a clear voice off the cars passing by, clunking a bag packed with future, one heart, two hearts pounding against the humming of the sky. Humming. How can I keep all this alive? I am not sure how to swim exactly in the perfect water that opens up before me, clear and unclear as time. I open my hand and see water thrive, a precious stone, a promise to keep. This is what I carry as the purest sky, and why I spread my arms and dive.
This ethos is deeply ingrained in every aspect of the brand, from its design philosophy to its business operations. Stella McCartney's brand empathy is evident in its understanding of the growing consumer demand for sustainable and ethical fashion. The brand recognizes that today's consumers are not just looking for high-quality, stylish products, they also want their purchases to align with their values. Stella McCartney meets this need by offering eco-friendly clothing that doesn't compromise on style or quality. The brand's commitment to sustainability is not just a marketing gimmick, it's a core part of its identity. The brand's action is demonstrated through its various sustainability initiatives. Stella McCartney continuously develops and engages with new ways to reduce environmental impacts, using innovative techniques throughout the supply chain. The brand has set high environmental standards using eco-friendly materials such as recycled polyester, organic cotton, and regenerated cashmere. Stella McCartney is also pushing her brand towards circularity, investing in cutting-edge technologies to decrease the environmental footprint of her products. One of the brand's most notable initiatives is its commitment to creating clothes that are meant to last. Stella McCartney's design pieces that are not going to get burnt, that are not going to landfills, and that are not going to harm the environment. This commitment to longevity and durability is a powerful demonstration of the brand's action. Moreover, Stella McCartney has revolutionized fashion with the world's first sustainable biosequence material, showcasing the brand's commitment to innovative, sustainable materials. The brand is continuously finding innovative ways to becoming more sustainable, such as its partnership with Bolt Threads, a company that creates sustainable materials from mushroom roots, and its recent unveiling of the world's first garments made from Milo, a leather alternative made from mycelium, the root structure of mushrooms. To construct purpose-driven brands in the Web3 era, it's crucial to start with empathy. This entails deeply understanding the pains and needs of your target audience, by empathizing with their experiences and their desires. Companies can align their brand values and offerings to address these concerns effectively. This empathetic approach serves as the foundation for building brands that resonates with consumers and contribute to a more purposeful and sustainable future. The journey to building a purpose-driven brand in the Web3 era continues with action. Authentic and transparent interactions that positively impact our audience's perceptions and behaviors are key. Fortunately, in the Web3 era equips us with unprecedented tools to achieve this. Blockchain technology enables us to create transparent transactions, demonstrating our commitment to honesty and openness. Cryptocurrencies allow us to reward our loyal customers, showing our appreciation for their support. Smart contracts open up new possibilities for customer relationships, allowing us to engage with our audience in innovative ways. The possibilities are truly endless. However, to create the T brand, having a strategy and core principles in place is only the beginning. A strategy alone is not enough. It needs to lead to an idea, the bedrock of creativity. But what exactly are ideas? We all have them, but what do they truly encompass? Ideas are the catalyst for all form of creativity and progress. They emerge from making new connections between existing information or experiences. For example, an idea may arise when you realize that a particular approach or tool can be used to solve a specific problem, or when you gain a fresh insight into how something functions. Ideas can be viewed as the fundamental elements of progress. They act as the building blocks for businesses, products, services, campaigns, and movements. Every instance of progress and innovation begins with an idea. So what exactly is an idea? It's a tangible entity, a thought that carries significant impact and consequence. Ideas are not just fleeting thoughts. They are powerful forces that can shape the world around us. They are the sparks that ignite innovation, the seeds that grow into successful businesses, and the foundations upon which we build movements. They are born from our experiences, our knowledge, and our insight, and they have the power to change the way we think, act, and live. So, as we embark on this journey to build purpose-driven brands in the Web3 era, let's harness the power of ideas. Let's use them to fuel our creativity, drive our progress, and make a lasting impact on the world. Let's turn our attention to a brand that truly has embraced the Web3 era and is reaping the rewards: Nike. This global powerhouse has always been a trailblazer, but its foray into Web3 technology has taken its innovative spirit to new heights. They not just dipped their toes into the Web3 culture, they dived in head first, embedding themselves into the fabric of this new digital landscape before many of their competitors had even laced up their shoes.
Welcome to the Artifact ecosystem. Today, Artifact together with Nike CryptoKicks introduces the future of sneakers. Starting with the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis, powered by DreamOS and Skin Vial Tech. Skin Vials allow you to change the look of the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis or any compatible sneakers with limited edition skins. Collect, evolve, and breed sneaker skins, created by legendary collaborators, artists, and the Artifact community. Load up thousands of skins to a single pair of sneakers. Today, we start with Evo X, Artifact's first skin vial collection featuring 8 Clone X DNA-based evolutive skins. Evo X powered skins vials allow you to evolve your Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis sneaker and choose drip upgrades and powers. Which path will you choose for your evolutive skin as you journey into the Artifact ecosystem and unlock the future? The future is now. Artifact.
In April, Nike unveiled Our Force One, their inaugural digital collection. This was not just a new product line, it was a bold statement, a declaration of their commitment to the Web3 journey. It signaled a shift towards a wider consumer market, one that is increasingly digital, decentralized, and driven by blockchain technology. Nike's Web3 strategy is a masterclass in the application of the T principle. They remain true to their brand ethos, a commitment to innovation and performance that has been at the heart of their identity for decades.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
It's super, it's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical, irrational, or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy. A woman dunking? Crazy. Coaching an NBA team? Crazy. A woman competing in a hijab, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080? Or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more? Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
They've shown deep empathy, not just understanding their audience, but immersing themselves in their culture, their needs, and their aspirations. And they've taken decisive action, leveraging Web3 technologies to create authentic, transparent, and meaningful interactions with their consumers. Nike's success in the Web3 era is a powerful testament to the potential of purpose-driven brands. It's a shining example of how empathy and action, underpinned by a strong brand truth, can resonate with consumers on a deep emotional level. It's a clear demonstration of the transformative power of the Web3 era, a new digital frontier where brands can engage with their audience in unprecedented ways. But building purpose-driven brands in the Web3 era is about more than just adopting new technologies. It's about more than just jumping on the latest trends. It's about embracing the core truth of your brand, understanding your audience on a profound level, and taking meaningful, impactful action. It's about creating a brand that doesn't just exist in the market but matters to the market, a brand that resonates, inspires, and makes a difference. To build a brand that becomes a giant, you need to grow with your audience. You need to evolve with them and adapt to the changing needs and desires. How do you do this? By basing your marketing efforts on the 3 pillars of brand truth, brand empathy, and brand action. By seizing the opportunities presented by the Web3 era. By building brands that matter, brands that make a difference, and brands that leave a lasting impact on the world. In the end, that's what it's all about. It's not just about selling products or services. It's about making a difference, making an impact, and making our mark on the world. It's about creating a legacy that will endure long after we're gone. It's about being part of the infinite game. To quickly summarize, you need to listen. Deeply understand your audience by actively listening to their wants, needs, and fears. Care for your community and communicate effectively. Truth. Know who you are, what you stand for, your purpose, position, and personality, the brand ethos. Empathy. Have empathy for the realities of the situation. Engage, co-create, be transparent, display empathy. You know what they care about. Action. Take action. Not just use fancy jargon, greenwash the brand, and think that you can get away with it. Be real, stand for something, and take action aligned with the brand truth. Velocity. Have a velocity mindset. Define the direction, be assertive and determined, and fail fast, forward. Now, let's dive into the practical steps you can take to build a purpose-driven brand in the Web3 era, based on the principles of Brand T. Define your brand truth. Start by identifying your brand core values and mission. This is the why behind your brand, the reason your brand exists beyond making a profit. It's the ethos that guides everything you do. Ask yourself, what does your brand stand for? What is its purpose? What values does it uphold? This process requires introspection and honesty. It's not about creating an image that you think will sell, but about understanding who you are as a brand at your core. Understand your audience. Once you define your brand truth, the next step is to understand your audience deeply. This is where empathy comes in. You need to understand your audience's needs, desires, and challenges. You need to understand their values and what matters to them. This requires active listening and engagement. Use social listening tools, conduct surveys, and engage with your audience on social media. The goal is to understand them so well that you can anticipate their needs and respond in a way that resonates with them. Align your actions with your brand. Now that you defined your brand truth and understand your audience, it's time to align your actions with your brand truth. This is about walking the talk. It's about ensuring that every action you take, every product you launch, every campaign you run, is aligned with your brand truth. This is where authenticity comes in. Your audience can tell if you're being genuine or if you're just trying to sell them something. So make sure that your actions reflect your brand truth. Leverage Web3 technologies. In the Web3 era, you have the range of new technologies at your disposal. Blockchain technology can help you create transparent transactions, showing your audience that you're not just talking about transparency, but actually practicing it. Cryptocurrencies can help you reward your loyal customers, showing them that you value their engagement. And smart contracts can help you create new types of customer relationships, engaging with your audience in innovative ways. Measure and adjust. Finally, remember that building a purpose-driven brand is an ongoing process. You need to constantly measure your performance, gather feedback from your audience, and adjust your strategies accordingly. Use analytics tools to track your performance, conduct regular surveys to gather feedback, and stay open to change. Remember, the goal is not to create a static brand, but a dynamic one that evolves with its audience. That said, let's delve into the challenges and potential pitfalls that you may encounter while building a purpose-driven brand in the Web3 era, and how to navigate them effectively. Misalignment of brand truth. One of the most common pitfalls is a misalignment between your brand truth and your actions. This usually happens when there's a gap between what a brand says it stands for and what it actually does. For instance, a brand may claim to value sustainability, but its manufacturing processes may be harmful to the environment. This kind of misalignment can damage your brand's reputation and erode trust among your audience. To avoid this, ensure that your actions consistently align with your brand truth. Regularly audit your practices to ensure that they reflect your stated values. Lack of understanding the audience. Another common challenge is not fully understanding your audience. In the rush to embrace new technologies and trends, it's easy to lose sight of who your audience is and what they truly care about. This can lead to strategies that don't resonate with your audience or even alienate them. To avoid this, invest time and resources in understanding your audience. Use data, conduct surveys, and engage in conversation with your audience to gain a deep understanding of their needs, values, and expectations. Overemphasis on technology. In the Web3 era, it's easy to get caught up in the hype around new technologies like blockchain and cryptocurrencies. While these technologies offer exciting possibilities, they are just tools. The real value lies in how you use these tools to create meaningful experiences for your audience. Overemphasizing technology at the expense of your brand truth and audience understanding can lead to strategies that feel gimmicky or inauthentic. To avoid this, always keep your brand truth and audience at the center of your strategies and use technology as a means to enhance these strategies, not as an end in itself. Failure to adapt. The digital landscape is constantly evolving, and what worked yesterday may not work today. Brands that fail to adapt to these changes risk becoming irrelevant. This is particularly true in the Web3 era, where new technologies and trends are emerging at a rapid pace. To avoid this, stay abreast of the latest development in your industry and the digital landscape at large. Be willing to experiment with new strategies and pivot when necessary. Lack of transparency. In the age of transparency, consumers expect brands to be open and honest about their practices. Failing to meet these expectations can lead to a loss of trust and damage your brand's reputation. This is particularly true in the Web3 era, where technologies like blockchain offer unprecedented levels of transparency. To avoid this, embrace transparency in all your dealings. Use technologies like blockchain to create transparent transactions and show your audience that you're not just talking about transparency, but actually practicing it. Building a purpose-driven brand in the Web3 era is not without its challenges. However, by being aware of these potential pitfalls and taking proactive steps to avoid them, you can navigate this landscape effectively and build a brand that truly matters to your audience. As a final note, let's explore some future trends and predictions that could shape the landscape of purpose-driven branding in the Web3 era. Increased demand for transparency. As we move further into the Web3 era, consumers' demand for transparency will only increase. They will expect brands to be open and honest about their practices, their values, and their impact on the world. Technologies like blockchain will play a crucial role in meeting these expectations, enabling brands to create transparent transactions and prove their claims. Brands that fail to meet these expectations will struggle to build trust and loyalty among their audience. Rise of decentralized brands. The Web3 era is characterized by decentralization. This means that power and control are distributed among many different actors, rather than being centralized in a few central authorities. This trend will likely extend to branding, with the rise of decentralized brands that are co-created and co-owned by their communities. These brands will be more democratic, more participatory, and more responsive to their community's needs and values. Integration of physical and digital experiences. As technologies like augmented reality and virtual reality becomes more advanced, the line between physical and digital experiences will blur. Brands will need to create seamless experiences that integrate both physical and digital elements. This will require a deep understanding of both the physical and digital context in which your audience interacts with your brand. Personalization at scale. With the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning, brands will be able to personalize their interactions with their audience at an unprecedented scale. This will enable brands to create more relevant and more meaningful experiences for their audience, enhancing their connection with the brand. However, this trend also raises important questions about privacy and data protection, which brands need to navigate carefully. Sustainability as a non-negotiable. As the urgency of climate crisis grows, sustainability will become a non-negotiable aspect of branding. Brands will need to demonstrate their commitment to sustainability, not just through their words, but through their actions. This will involve rethinking every aspect of their operations, from their supply chain to their product design, to minimize their environmental impact. The rise of purpose-driven metrics. As brands become more purpose-driven, they will need new metrics to measure their success. Traditional metrics like sales and market share will no longer be sufficient. Instead, brands will need to measure their impact on their audience, their community, and the world. This will require the development of new metrics and measurement tools, as well as a shift in mindset among marketers and business leaders. It's crucial to understand that this isn't about jumping on the latest trend or being the first to adopt new technologies. Instead, it's about strategically using these tools to create trust, promote transparency, and positively impact people's behavior. Remember, as humans, our initial reactions are driven by emotions. We feel first and think second. This is a fundamental aspect of human psychology that brands must take into account. When you align your brand with the principles of Web3, crypto, and blockchain technology, you're not just making a statement about your brand's innovative spirit. You're making a statement about your brand's commitment to trust, transparency, and the values that matter most to your audience. This is where the concept of embracing comes into play. Embracing these technologies means more than just implementing them. It means integrating them into your brand ethos, weaving them into the fabric of your brand's narrative. It means using these technologies as tools to tell your brand story, communicate your brand values, and engage with your audience in meaningful ways. When you embrace Web3, crypto, and blockchain technology in this way, you're not just adopting new technologies, you're adapting a new way of thinking, a new way of engaging with your audience, and a new way of doing business. You're demonstrating that your brand is forward-thinking, that it values innovation, and that it is committed to staying ahead of the curve. But more importantly, you're demonstrating that your brand values its audience, that it listens to its audience, and that is willing to evolve in response to its audience needs and expectations. This is a powerful message to send to your audience. It shows that your brand isn't just interested in selling products or services. It shows that your brand is interested in building relationships, fostering trust, and creating a community. It shows that your brand isn't just interested in making a profit. It shows that your brand is interested in making a difference. Here's a simple yet powerful framework based on the brand T concept. Truth. Start by defining your brand truth. This is your brand ethos, the core values, what it stands for. It's the foundation upon which your brand is built. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of your brand? What are its core values? What does it stand for? This is your brand truth. Empathy. The next step is to understand your audience deeply. This is where empathy comes into play. You need to understand their needs, their wants, their fears. You need to understand their culture and the context in which they live. This understanding would allow you to create a brand that truly resonates with your audience. Action. And finally, you need to take action. This is where your brand comes to life. Your actions should be aligned with your brand truth and should demonstrate empathy towards your audience. When you embrace Web3 crypto and blockchain technology in this way, you'll see how it positively impacts people's behavior. You'll see how it fosters trust, how it promotes transparency, and how it encourages engagement. You'll see how it makes your brand stand out in a crowded marketplace, not because it's the first to adopt these technologies, but because it's the best at using these technologies to create meaningful connections with its audience. So don't just adopt these emerging technologies because it's the latest trend. Embrace it because it aligns with your brand values, because it resonates with your audience, and because it has the potential to transform your brand's relationship with its audience. Embrace it because it's not just about being the first, it's about being the best. It's about making a difference, making an impact, and making your mark on the world. In the era of transparency, the theme of trust takes a profound significance. It's not just a concept, it's a compelling narrative that speaks to the core of human needs: honesty, openness, and accountability. It resonates deeply with consumers who in today's world are demanding greater transparency from the brands they choose to engage with. This theme offers a path forward for brands, a roadmap for building deeper and more meaningful relationships with their consumers. But the theme of trust is not just compelling, it's also a catalyst for creativity. It challenges us to rethink our marketing strategies and to view them through a different lens. It pushes us to leverage new technologies, such as blockchain, to enhance transparency and foster trust. It urges us to be more open, more honest, and more accountable in our interactions with customers. It's a call to action for brands to step up and meet the evolving expectations of their consumers. Moreover, the theme of trust is a conceptual one. It delves into the intricate dynamics of customer-brand relationships, exploring the pivotal role of trust in shaping culture and human behavior. It's a theme that requires us to navigate the complexities of the digital age, to understand the shifting landscapes of consumer expectations, brand perceptions, and the transformative power of technology. In the digital age, trust is no longer a nice to have, it's a must have. It's the cornerstone of brand-consumer relationships, the foundation upon which brand loyalty is built. It's the currency of the digital age, and brands that understand are the ones that will thrive. So how can brands build trust in the age of transparency? How can they leverage technology to enhance transparency and foster trust? How can they navigate the complexities of the digital age and build meaningful relationships with their consumers? These are the questions that brands need to answer, the challenges that they need to overcome, and the opportunities they need to seize. Trust in the age of transparency is more than just a theme. It's the paradigm shift. It's a shift from transactional relationships to relational transactions, from selling products to selling purpose, from brand-centric marketing to consumer-centric marketing. It's a shift that requires brands to be more than just providers of products or services. They need to be partners, collaborators, and co-creators in the consumer journey. And those that embrace this shift are the ones that will not only survive in the digital age, but thrive in it. As a marketer, you are the custodian of your brand's perception in the age of transparency. Your decisions, your strategies, and your leadership are the compass that guides your brand through the complex landscape of the digital era. You are the architect of your brand image, the curator of its narrative, and the guardian of its reputation. Your role is pivotal in shaping how your brand is perceived. Every decision you make, every strategy you implement, and every leadership action you take has the potential to influence your brand image. You are the one that sets the tone, who crafts the message, and who steers the brand towards its goals. You have the power to build trust with your consumers. Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship and is no different when it comes to the relationship between a brand and its consumer. By being transparent, by being honest, and by being accountable, you can foster a sense of trust with your consumer. This trust is not just about making consumers feel good about your brand. It's about making them feel good about their decision to choose your brand. Creating meaningful relationships with your consumers is another crucial aspect of your role. Relationships are not just about transactions. They are about connections. They're about understanding your consumers, empathizing with their needs and desires, and about providing solutions that add value to their lives. Driving your brand's success in the digital age is a challenge that you are well equipped to tackle. With the advent of new technologies, you have an array of tools at your disposal to enhance transparency, to engage with your customers, and to drive your brand's growth. Embrace the challenge of building trust. Trust is not something that can be bought. It has to be earned. It requires consistency, authenticity, and transparency. It requires you to be open, to be honest, and to be accountable. Embrace the opportunity to leverage technology to enhance transparency. Technology has opened up new avenues for brands to engage with their customers. It has made it possible for brands to be more transparent, to be more accountable, and to be more responsive to their customers' needs. And finally, embrace the responsibility to uphold your brand values. Your brand values are its compass. They guide its actions and shape its identity. Upholding these values is not just about maintaining your brand's image, it's about staying true to your brand's essence. It's about being open, being honest, and being accountable in all your interactions. In conclusion, as a marketer, you are the steward of your brand's journey in the digital age. Your role is not just about promoting your brand. It's about building trust, creating meaningful relationships, and driving your brand's success. It's about embracing the challenges and opportunities that comes with the digital age. And it's about upholding your brand values in all your interactions. As we come to the end of this journey, let's reflect on what we've learned. We've delved into the world of Web3, explored the principles of Brand T, and discovered how these elements can help us build purpose-driven brands. But remember, this isn't just about adopting new technologies or following the latest trends. It's about staying true to your brand's ethos, understanding your audience, and taking meaningful action. We've learned that in the Web3 era, we have the opportunity to redefine our consumer relationships, to create brands that don't just exist in the market, but matter to the market. We've seen how brands like Nike and Airbnb have successfully navigated this landscape, staying true to their mission while embracing the culture of their audience. We've also learned that building a purpose-driven brand is about more than just marketing. It's about making a genuine difference, leaving an impact, and imprinting our mark on the world. It's about listening deeply to our audience, understanding their desires, needs, and concerns, and responding in a way that reflects our brand's truth. But this journey isn't without its challenges. We must be prepared to face these head-on, to seize the opportunities that present themselves, and to uphold our responsibility to be transparent, sincere, and accountable. We must remember the importance of empathy, not as a marketing gimmick, but as a genuine reflection of our brand ethos. Keep in mind the importance of taking action, actions that are authentic, that stand for something meaningful, and that aligns with our brand truth. Because in the end, that's what it's all about, making a difference, creating an impact, and leaving a mark on the world. As we embark on this journey, let's remember to stay true to ourselves. Because in a world of constant change and uncertainty, authenticity is what sets us apart. Thank you for your attention. Don't worry about it. You got this. If you want more insights and understanding on how to build a legacy brand, get a copy of my book, Brand You Economics. You can find it at brandyoueconomics.com. Until I see you next time, stay true, stay you.